Did you know that in communication, we deal with simple sentences 100% of the time? In our native language, whether Mandarin, Spanish, Filipino, or Japanese, we still deal with simple sentences, and it's nothing short of a reality in the English language. Why do I say this? It is because even if we use the other types of sentence structure, namely the compound and complex sentences, we still deal with simple sentences. In the previous videos, we discussed the two types of clauses, the dependent and independent clauses, which we use for constructing these types of sentences. The link to the video is in the description box below. In this video, we will discuss the first type of sentence according to structure, the simple sentence. We will divide the discussion into two sections. 1. The definition of a simple sentence including the subject and predicate it consists of, and then 2. Their forms. By the way, this video contains repurposed content, so some parts of the audio might not be best, but we believe they do not affect the quality of the teaching negatively. Thank you for your patience. Let's start.
A simple sentence, from the word simple, is simple in itself because it is a complete thought that consists of just one independent clause. It contains a subject, which tells us who or what the sentence is about, and a predicate, which provides information about the subject or tells us what the subject is doing. For example, Tiffany likes muffins. Our subject here is Tiffany. It is a proper noun. Our predicate is likes muffins. It consists of a stative verb, likes, and the direct object, muffins, the one directly acted upon by the subject. The sentence gives a complete thought. It is one independent clause that stands alone as a complete sentence. Another example, Alona sings. Our subject here is Alona, which is a proper noun, and the predicate is sings, which consists of just an action verb. It gives a complete thought, and it is one independent clause that stands alone as a complete sentence. Another example, the kind woman gave this to me. Our subject here, the woman, is modified by the definite article, the, and the adjective kind, which makes this a noun phrase. The predicate, gave this to me, consists of the action verb gave and the prepositional phrase to me. It has a subject and predicate. It gives a complete thought, so it is an independent clause that stands alone as a complete sentence. That's a simple sentence. It is composed of just one independent clause. As we have seen in the examples, every simple sentence has a subject and predicate. That's how a simple sentence is broken down to further understand it. Now let's dig a bit deeper into each component, starting with the subject. Let's have an example sentence. John plays the guitar. Our subject here is John, which is a proper noun. The subject of a sentence is the noun or pronoun that answers the question, who or what is the sentence about? It tells us who or what is performing the action word, or who or what is being talked about in the sentence. John here answers one of these questions. Who does the action? John. The subject of a sentence has 8 forms, and it may or may not be accompanied by words that modify it or describe it. For example, the talented John plays the guitar. The John that Mary told me about plays the guitar. In these examples, instead of plainly putting John, the name is accompanied by words that modify it or give it more information, either to describe or add more details. Regardless of the additional information, our subject remains the same. That is still John. It is just a noun, a proper noun to be specific. And John here is the performer of the action verb plays. We have a separate video on the different forms of subject, so please feel free to check the description box below. Let's move on to the predicate. Our predicate here is the plays the guitar. The predicate is primarily composed of a verb, and it may or may not be accompanied by objects or complements. For example, John plays. John flawlessly plays the guitar. John flawlessly plays the guitar in front of everyone. John flawlessly plays the guitar and sings. But in this sentence, our verb only has a direct object, the guitar, the one receiving the action. And this predicate tells about what the subject does, that is, playing the guitar. Simple sentences are typically short and straightforward, and most importantly, they give a complete thought. They do not leave us hanging with questions. Like for example, this sentence. It expresses a complete thought. It stands alone and does not need other clauses. Another example. The cat is sleeping. The subject of this sentence is the noun cat, which tells us what the sentence is about, and it is accompanied by the definite article the, which is used if the noun talked about is specific, as in, for example, here we use the because we assume that our listener also knows which cat we are talking about. Among the 8 forms of subject, our subject form in this sentence is a noun phrase because it consists of 2 words. Our predicate, on the other hand, is sleeping. Here, it tells what the cat is doing as of the moment, that is sleeping. One more example. She eats lunch every day. Among the 8 forms of subjects, in this sentence, our subject is a pronoun, and the predicate is eats lunch every day. The predicate includes the verb eats and the direct object, lunch, which receives the action being performed by the subject, and it also includes the adverb of time every day, which tells how often the subject eats her lunch. Now, there are different forms of simple sentences. First, simple sentences with intransitive verbs. Intransitive verbs are verbs that do not need a direct object to complete their meaning. A direct object is a person or thing directly receiving the action done by the subject. For example, Brett wrote a book. We know that Brett is the subject because he is the one who performed the action. We know that in this predicate, wrote is the verb. Now, as I said, a direct object is the person or thing receiving the action. In this sentence, the book is our direct object because it receives the action of Brett. It is the thing being acted upon by Brett. Looking back to the definition of an intransitive verb. Intransitive verbs don't have direct objects. Therefore, either the verb in this sentence is the opposite of intransitive verbs, or the object must be removed to make it intransitive. Meaning, if we keep the direct object, the verb will be transitive. If we remove it, the verb will now be intransitive. We want to make it intransitive, so let's remove the direct object. But this time, it would express a different meaning. Sometimes, in simple sentences with intransitive verbs, the intransitive verb is followed by words that give additional information except for direct objects. For example, he laughed loudly. Our subject is he, and our verb is laughed. And we have the additional information, loudly, which is an adverb. It tells us how the subject laughed. And here, even without a direct object, the sentence still expresses a complete thought. The sentence could also look like this. He laughed loudly in the morning. Here we have a subject, a verb, an adverb that describes the verb, and a prepositional phrase that tells us when the subject laughed. And even if the verb does not have a direct object, it still gives a complete thought. Next, simple sentences with transitive verbs. Opposite to intransitive verbs, transitive verbs are action verbs that require a direct object to complete their meaning. In simple sentences with transitive verbs, the verb is followed by a direct object, which is the receiver of the action. For example, she bought a new book. Our subject is she, and we have the verb bought in the predicate and direct object a new book. The sentence expresses a complete thought with the subject, verb, and direct object, creating a clear action-receiver relationship. Sometimes, this type of simple sentence can have additional information too. For example, she bought a new book yesterday. She bought a new expensive book yesterday. In sentence 1, we have the adverb yesterday, which tells us when the subject bought the book. In sentence 2, the same, we have the adverb yesterday. But this time, we have another adjective that describes the book, which is expensive. The last and third form of simple sentences. Simple sentences with linking verbs. Linking verbs are verbs that connect the subject of a sentence with a word or phrase that describes or identifies it or states its condition. In short, they are verbs that connect the subject to their adjectives or to their another noun or pronoun. In simple sentences with linking verbs, the verb is followed by a subject complement, which can be a noun, pronoun, or adjective. Here is the list of linking verbs. You will see these verbs are mostly used in tenses. Let's use some of them for our examples. The flowers are beautiful. Our subject here are the flowers, and we have the linking verb are, and the subject complement beautiful. The sentence expresses a complete thought with a subject, linking verb, and subject complement, which is an adjective that describes the subject. Another example, Bettina is tall. Bettina is our subject, our linking verb is, and we have the subject complement tall, which is an adjective that describes Bettina. Last example, I am Groot. We have the subject I, which is a pronoun, and the linking verb am. And we have the subject complement, Groot, which is also a noun that identifies I. And there you have it, a comprehensive understanding of simple sentences in English grammar. Remember, simple sentences consist of a subject and a predicate. They give complete thoughts without leaving us hanging with questions, and they can take different forms depending on the type of verb used.